screens. There we go. Now it's working okay. You see, Soviet's gone and everything falls apart, but we still have a good time. So welcome to Tank Talk episode 11. I am, of course, James Starr, aka Relics, and with me on my right is David Williams, aka Nagatron.
Hello.
Hello.
It's like freakish hand pops up.
Yeah. So today we don't have Soviet because apparently he's doing something he feels is more important. We don't. I don't really know what it is, but he's obviously wrong. We're gonna have a relatively quick episode this week because we have Nvidia tournament going on in an hour or less than an hour, so we'll have to be pretty quick with that. And then obviously we have Wargaming League North America doing qualifier twos in probably about that's in an hour too. Yeah. So we'll just kind of run through some stuff that we have for tournaments going on right now, talk a little bit about them, and get the heck out of here so we can go play some tournaments. So first of all, general news. There really isn't anything big going on, so we'll jump actually straight to tournaments. Did you like that? First of all, general news. There's nothing.
We should have just gone with the joke cast.
I'm telling you, that would have been awesome. We can't say it now because we have to do this on another episode, but dang it, we should have done that.
Continue.
All right, tournaments. So first of all, I want to talk a little bit about skirmishes. We haven't talked about that in a long time. We have skirmish 24 coming up pretty soon. And I think it's actually pretty interesting. Let me bring up the setup that we have going with that right now. So it's going to be a 7v7, 33 points with tier 5 heavies, mediums, and tank destroyers, tier 4 lights, no artillery, required one French tank destroyer. And it's going to be 10 minutes on Muravanka in encounter mode with the usual 5k for first. What I find mostly interesting about this is that it fits in with the FOC 155 event going on right now. So it's like so they're requiring you to do the French tank destroyer, and it's on sale. I kind of like this mixture of having like a special event going on right now and then having a tournament that's associated with it in some way. What do you think about that?
They've been doing that a lot, though.
Have they?
Several skirmishes ago. Yeah, they'd have like All-American weekend or something like that. Well, wasn't something like that. It'd be like tier 5 discounts and then a tier 5 only skirmish, things like that. I think they did it with the T29 tournament. Wasn't the T29 at a
Oh yeah,
discount and the it earned more. It increased profits during that time.
yeah,
So they've been doing it for close to a year now, I think.
yeah. I kind of like the simple fact that I mean I don't remember if the T29 event had like build up to the T29, so like the T1 and the M6 were on sale or anything like that. But it's nice having that build up so you don't have to spend as much credits to be able to apply for the tournament in specific. So I think that's a good setup. I think they should keep running with that on a monthly basis now that that's coming out. Um, it seems like it'll produce at least interesting results for people that are not into the 742 tournaments that are taking up all the other time. But I just thought I'd bring that up. I thought it was an interesting makeup. So let's go ahead and jump to the other tournaments and news that we have going on. We obviously finished up the Classic League this last Sunday, in which Just Testing beat us out for first place. So congratulations to them. Nerf T57s. Nerf them to the ground. That's about
We
my
played
response to that.
poorly.
Yeah, we did.
That's simple. It wasn't tanks. It wasn't T-57s.
Yeah. We have our bad days. We can play poorly. Um, but they definitely, they had some good stuff going on. So, um, still grats to them. I don't think we have a lot to talk about in the Classic. We'll just forget about it. Um, the other big tournament news going on, they have Open League registration going on right now from 6/19 to 6/26. So if you are a new team looking to get into the 742 formats and start working your way up towards like the Wargaming League North America or the major leagues, make sure you get your team signed up in that. I believe they also changed the dates. Previously, it was Fridays and Saturdays, if I remember right, and they're going to change it to Mondays and Fridays, so free up your weekend a little bit more. Obviously, that's going to conflict some with the Wargaming League North America, so I think the intention is that these will be separated from that entirely. And I actually think I saw a post from Ute at one point where he had like a ranking that you start in the open, then you go to the minors, then you go to the majors, and then it opens up into Wargaming League North America. So it kind of sounds like that's what it's gonna end up being from now on. There was talk of it being something totally separate, and like we would still participate in the major leagues and such, but I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna run around. Um, I know I'd like to still participate in the major leagues. It'll be interesting. I think they said we're supposed to have some kind of official word this week on how exactly all that's gonna work. Would you still want to do stuff in the major leagues if like it coincided with the Wargaming League North America? If we could somehow make it work?
If they work together, maybe it would just depend. We obviously wouldn't take it super seriously. It would be kind of like a practice bet, I guess, but it's all 100% focused on Wargaming League North America now, if you ask me.
Yeah. Do you? So let me ask you this from a price standpoint, from for your opinion. Do you think the $800 gold prize is as valuable as the cash prizes that you're getting out of Wargaming League North America? Not like straight value wise, but
I mean,
now I don't know
that's
where
a
I was
pretty
going with that
clear
question.
answer. um,
I feel like you can like just prize wise, Wargaming the major league seemed like it paid out more down the line compared to what this will down the line for how many people are earning something out of it.
I see what you're saying. Um, yes and no. I mean, more teams get something in the major league style format where they're paying out to what, like eighth or something like that.
Yeah, and you get
Um,
gold every match that you play.
yeah, and then meanwhile, with WGLNA, pays out the top three, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
But there's a lot of other stuff that goes with that. You know, there's the exposure, there's potential for sponsorships, there's a lot of other things, and really the trivial amount of gold doesn't really measure up to that at all to me. But um, especially not right now. I mean, we're sitting okay with gold, so it's not quite as much of a draw as it used to be.
Yeah, I think my biggest worry with that separation of having the majors and the Wargaming League North America is that some of the better teams will try to focus themselves into the majors because it's more reliable prizes versus Wargaming League North America where they know there's really hard competition to get into. Um, I don't know.
Well, if that's the case, then those teams aren't trying to be professional. They're not trying to take it seriously. And ultimately, if the league keeps progressing the way it should, then they wouldn't really stand a chance in that later, anyways, because they're not taking it seriously enough. And as competition increases, it's going to take more and more work, and you're going to have to be more and more dedicated to it. So I'm not too super worried about that. What I could see, kind of what you're talking about, would be if teams that had low ranking in the league, especially as it got later in the season, if they were to just quit, basically, and focus on the majors. But I think there would be repercussions on that. Obviously, if you start skipping matches, I think there's a rule in WGLNA where if you miss two matches, you're just out or something like that. Or maybe that's the new rule for the majors. But I know that there are rules put in place to make sure that people are taking whatever league they're in seriously, and hopefully we'll see more teams move up from the majors.
Yeah, definitely.
Take that seriously, find out they're pretty good at it, and then try and make a run for the money.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be that progression of we're actually pretty good. We can keep going. Cool. Let's go ahead and talk about the next subject. That's everything that's really going on with tournaments. We'll talk a little bit about Wargaming League North America since we just had the first qualifier 2 night last night. We'll talk a little bit about that. Um, but 8.6, it's on Russian servers now. It's on European servers as of yesterday. I believe we're supposed to get it on Monday, coming next week. I heard Monday or Tuesday. Um,
It's typically Tuesday or Thursday are the patch days.
yeah, I don't know why I was thinking Monday.
God, I hope it's not Monday. We have a we
We
have
have
a
a
match in
tournament.
Nvidia the day of. That would suck so much.
I was worried that it would come out today and it'd be like, oh, surprise! You get to come home and learn if you can still do artillery well. Um, it's
It's like
still good.
playing t-ball with you sometimes.
I know.
I'll just leave that one alone. Continue. We
Could
only got so much time.
I know. So the one big thing that I saw that was a note is that all premium consumables are going to be 50% during when 8.6 releases. So that'll be nice. So it'll be a good time to stock up. They said though that it's going to go back up at 8.7. So I don't think I fully understand why they're reducing it for one patch. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like it's just an event that lasts a patch. It's kind of weird. But keep an eye out for that when 8.6 hits. Buy a bunch of consumables for premium. I mean, 10K versus 20K, that's a pretty dang good deal. Um, so that's all. We've talked 8.6 to death, so I don't really want to go into a lot of it until it's actually released. I think next week, when it's actually released, we'll be able to talk a lot about the like the lower tier artilleries, which we weren't really able to test at all because you try to drive a tier 2 or 3 on the test server and you're gonna be waiting in queue and kicked out after like 5 minutes. Um,
What happened to me? I just ended up in a Westfield match that was 15 bisons on either side. It's like, well, I'm not going to learn a whole lot out of this.
let's all see how a bison works. I know I got in
Yeah.
one match where I could at least fire the bison, and you could see like the 105 shell just traveling very slowly.
A turtle crosses the field, takes a nap, and then the shell lands.
Yep. You know,
It's long.
you know it's bad when a T-95 can outmaneuver your shell.
Actually, kind of like to see that.
It could do it. I think it could. Well, I think next week we'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll have obviously more information, more testing, because we want to make sure that it's those lower tiers are still viable for tournaments. Um, what else do we have go out? There was a interesting video that came out that I think David will appreciate. Our resident mod master, the curse guy. They had the mod responsibility PSA that came out, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out on their website. It's interesting. So just like how it starts out, it's like mods, they're amazing. They change the view of everything, and everything looks nice, and you can modify how this tank looks, and you have a weird girl talking in funny ways. And then it's like mods are
I forgot about the girl. That one bounced.
yeah, and then like after that, it switches tone, and it's like mods are evil though. You have to be careful where you get them from, 'cause you may get viruses. And like it goes all like crazy, like don't do this. I felt like I was watching like a PSA on television where they're like, "This is a
One of those
happy sunny day," but then there's somebody looking for your kids.
one of those abstinence videos you see in high school or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, look at this perfect couple just holding hands, and then massive nasty pictures of STDs,
Yep.
or
That.
STIs, I guess is what they call them.
No,
Kids these days.
I know.
Yeah, so that video is painful for me on many levels. I appreciate the sentiment. I like what Wargaming's trying to do there. I've always kind of thought that they should get involved with mods in general, approving, disapproving, make an API for them, things like that. But
Adopting.
unfortunately, one of the ones they showcase in that is the most overpowered, broken mod that has ever existed. The one they used with the crosshair. Now you can get that one by itself, just the crosshair. And all that crosshair does is show you whether you're going to penetrate, guaranteed, whether you're going to get spotted by the target or not, guaranteed. And those are really the only advantages, reload time and some other stuff like that. But that mod pack that comes from, oh my god. It's I don't even have words. I kind of don't want to talk about it on here because I don't want people to be like, "Whoa, I can get that," and then go get it because
Yeah.
nobody should have that. Just should.
It's pretty ironic that they use that as an example in their video, like the most overpowered mod you could possibly get. Hmm.
Yep. Couldn't be something simple like Jimbo's ret mod or like that. You're like, look, you can change reticles. You can style your tank after My Little Ponies. You know, things like that. Cool.
Yeah. And it's too bad that they also said all the stuff about like the only place to look for mods is to go to the official World of Tanks website and stuff. And I mean, there's some good
Oh yeah,
there's some
yeah.
good mod websites around.
If you're curious about what mods are not allowed, check the forums. You
Yeah.
go look, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll get up to that soon." You're like, what? I've been dying for that like my whole life, my whole World of Tanks life. So what mods are and are not legal? I don't know.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter because we can't enforce it anyway. You're like, well, okay.
yeah,
Meanwhile, over in the EU, it's like, whew,
yeah.
it's crazy over there.
Because isn't it right now that like Russia and EU have their own set of banned mobs, and then in North America everything is okay right now.
Pretty
That's my
much, pretty
understanding.
much that is the case. I know EU is by far the most hardcore about it. It's bad. Like you go post a new mod over there, and depending on what you're putting up, or you just breach the topic of mods, you get these European lawyers that come in there and they start listing just 5-page articles about why mods are against EULA, and it's like you're using Wargaming's own legal rights against them. I'm confused. It's nasty over there.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird video that doesn't really go across all regions. Um, it's is it pretty safe to say that from our perspective at least, curse.com is okay to get World of Tanks mods? Do they still update stuff on there?
Yes, it should be okay.
Yeah,
Um, Not everything there is going to be easily packaged to self-install through the Curse client, but most of the stuff there, well, it's all safe. That much is guaranteed. It gets cleaned and everything and all that. The only things that could go in there, or maybe if it's going to warn you if you get it, but if there's an executable file in there, actually no, I think it screens all executables, so it couldn't even have that. Um, The only way you could get in danger would be if you were following additional files, like XVM, for example. It's like download all the files, but you need executables,
right.
and you can download them here. Well, at that point, it's like you're going off site, so now it's starting to become a risk. XVM obviously isn't a risk, but be careful where you get your XVM downloads from as well, because somebody could be monkeying with those.
Yeah,
Which if
but
you get them directly from XVM or from the Curse site, it should be okay.
so Curse is Nagatron approved as another mod site, regardless of what the angry PSA says.
Definitely wouldn't trust the forums, put it that way.
Yeah, the,
It's where a lot of original content is, for sure, though. Especially the European ones. They're loaded. The European mods forum. It's something different over there. It's like creativity or something like that. Hold on. Yeah, general creativity is what their mods forum is called there.
general creativity. That's pretty broad.
I think that's the point.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move off of that entertaining PSA, and we're not going to go too much longer because we have the tournament coming up here pretty quick. So let's just talk a little bit about the Wargaming League North America quals twos yesterday. Um, you watched a bunch of it too, didn't you? As
Yes.
much as you could. I know we were practicing most of the time. Um, Me and my T1, I was watching this show most of the time, but um, yeah, I thought they were pretty interesting. We saw a lot of battles with Simplistic, and they were fighting Hammer Time, if I remember right. Um,
Hammer Time played Kung Fu.
wow, I got that
That was the only
backwards.
match I got to sit down and watch because I was actually practicing during our practice time. Who does that?
Yeah. Um, the one interesting match I think I saw out of all of them that I thought was funny, entertaining, awkward was the one where Simplistic used the Korean strat on Himmelsdorf. I did not think we were going to see that strat here. The parking lot strategy.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't see this.
they used the Korean parking lot strategy on Himmelsdorf.
Parking lot.
You
Like,
don't
what are
you
you
don't know
talking?
you don't know the parking lot strategy? It's
Are you
where
talking about that little like alcove on the 8 line in the
yes,
north?
where you stick five 5100s in that alcove and you just stick your T1s out and wait for them to come down. Although they didn't use five 5100s though, they used like a KV5, couple 5100s, T69.
It's actually kind of worse. I mean, if you're going to be responding wherever and swinging around and just dumping on stuff, 550 100s is better. Or, 569s. Kind of hard to go wrong with that.
Yeah, I think it was at least interesting to see some variety in Himmelsdorf for what people do, but it was still,
So I'm guessing they lost that?
if I remember right, they did. Yes, there was a the IS-3 on the other team. I can't remember what team it was facing. Somebody in chat probably knows. Um, but he just hold down on that little berm right in front of the parking lot and just bounce shots left and right. It didn't go very well, but I don't know. It's interesting. It was at least interesting to
Sticking
watch.
5 tanks in one spot is so rarely a good idea. General rule of thumb.
Yeah, unless they're rushing somewhere, and then it's mildly entertaining when they get there. I don't really have a lot today. You can see we're really prepared. And obviously, you watch a lot of Wargaming League North America, so we can have a big discussion on that. We're Soviet, so we can get our sad face in here. We should have talked about World of Warcraft and Guild Wars and
Clan Wars.
artillery and clan wars.
Artillery and Clan Wars are the go-tos.
Yeah, while he was gone, taking advantage of that.
Um, so I'm assuming you don't have anything else here.
I really don't have anything else. There's nothing going
Are,
on right now. It's like
what about questions? Questions from the audience.
I guess we can go to questions. See what they got going on.
Questions in general.
We can make fun of
Q&A.
Soviet. Have you seen that
D&D
baby face of
developments.
his?
We're not going into that.
D&D developments. Things are going good with D&D.
No,
No?
no.
None of that?
When is Russia trip? It is Belarussia. Belarussia.
Totally different.
Belarus. And that's the very beginning of August. I believe the party is like August 2nd or 3rd or something like that.
Yeah, that very first week. It should be fun. I heard there might be some other stuff going on, so hopefully there'll be some cool videos out there of what we're doing out there, and they'll take advantage of that. Oh, yeah, Junior. He's asking about the screenshot from EU server where they had a tier 10 match, and it was all the tier 10s were artillery, and then it was tier 9 or below after that, and it was just that's ridiculous. I did see some posts later that are from like Storm and everything like that. They were saying they're going to try to fix it. But yeah, you're right, Junior. That was absolutely ridiculous. I think there should only be 2 artillery per side, anyways. So what are you giggling about now?
Me?
Yeah.
Somebody asked me if I was on welfare. What are you talking about?
How do you even like get that he's on welfare from this picture? Because I don't see. Other than the
Calling my
goatee,
curtains cheap, boy.
I mean, you look a little ghetto with the goatee because it's not, cool like a full beard. But I'm just saying. I'm
What
just
is
saying.
that, a full beard?
Okay, it's not a full beard. I'm still working on it there. Oh, Fulcrum will play against Russian teams. I don't know. We're hoping that we get to do some kind of thing when we're there to play against them. If anything, if we do good enough through Nvidia, maybe we'll have a chance at I mean, the big I think benefit for us doing that will be to play the international teams again like we did in WCG because I think we learned probably the most playing the international teams, seeing how their styles go. So hopefully we'll be there again.
Especially the European and Russian teams. They're way more fun to fight. They come out to play. They're trying to win the whole time. They're not, well, they're trying to come kill you the whole time. They don't just sit in the back and hang around and do nothing, or
Mm-hmm.
play some sort of really obnoxious slow game. At least in the international stage, against each other during the Golden Leagues, there was definitely some campy meta that developed, but there was a lot more on the line at that point, I think.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of line at that on the line at that point. Seven Bygle's got a question. I don't know if you want to answer it or not, but he's asking: is there something different in hindsight that you would have done in the classic season 2 finals? I know most people have seen the videos for it now.
Certainly. There's a number of things. I mean, some are just circumstantial things, and then some are, I don't know the good word for that. Did Twitch just go down?
I think Twitch just went down.
Man, Twitch looks like it's back up.
Hey, kind of. Is it like catching up?
I don't know.
It's like slow motion.
Can you guys hear us right now?
I don't know. Well, maybe we should just go ahead and end it there since it's half hour past and we gotta go get ready.
Audio
Oh,
works, video's
audio does
laggy.
work. Okay, go ahead and finish
Okay,
what you're
so
saying.
to at least complete the story there. Me personally, there was a couple things that happened during that didn't work out so well. We are kind of expecting them to make whatever moves they were making a little bit faster. So there was one game where I took a bat shot in trying to flank them because I figured at the time I thought one of their bat shots was pinned and that it would be a 2-on-2 medium fight at most. And it just so worked out that we both hit the corner at the same time and I evaporated. That didn't work out for the match. And then there was another match, the very last one, where we were coming up to flank them. And I'd been watching a specific road for minutes, expecting them to come down it. And then as soon as I left, apparently that was when they turned the corner. So it's just circumstance stuff that obviously would have made a really big difference. But we never should have been in that situation to begin with. I think as a team, we just got very uncertain about what we were doing. We started off not actually running the strategy that we had set out to run. So when it didn't work, we then abandoned that strategy. But we didn't really realize at the time that we weren't doing the one we thought we were. So there's just a lot of stuff that happened, and people didn't play their best, and the decisions we made obviously weren't the right ones. So of course, there's things that we would change or that we regret, but what can you do?
Cool. I think we'll go and end it there. There's something else going on that's causing all kinds of like crazy issues right now. Might be my internet going funny because like you're all fuzzy now. So yeah, we'll go and end this episode. It's gonna be like I said, it was gonna be a short one. We're gonna go jump into the tournaments. Make sure you jump on the Wargaming League North America channel in about a half hour, and there'll be some games there. We'll jump in chat as well so we can talk to you guys and go through the matches. Should be fun. So thanks for joining me as usual, David, aka Negatron. Yeah,
One
so
of those.
one of those. And we'll see you guys later.